Hey, good morning. Oh, I'm off to get my water in the morning today. It feels more right. The last time I did a water walk was in the afternoon. It's really nice, but it just feels better in the morning. Anyway, I did a water walk and I videoed, but I didn't put it up, so I just deleted it, which I've done quite a lot lately. But anyway, see if I put this one up. You know. Anyway, beautiful weather here. It's still the cool season. We're like January 23rd maybe right now. Yeah. Hey, we had a wonderful weekend of kendo in Lana Kendo in Chiang Mai this past weekend. Oof. Yamada Sensei from Bangkok, currently living in Bangkok, came to help us, and Nishikawa Sensei came to help us. Nishikawa Sensei lives in Hong Kong. They're both from Japan, originally, I suppose. And yeah, it was just... Anyway, it was just spectacular. I think everyone had a blast. The kids did so well. I was so proud of them. Their spirit was good. And they were long practices. They were 2 hours long, and they kept on with it. And actually, Maggie, one of the adult girls, Kendo, she said, "Oh, the kids want longer practices because our normal practices aren't that long, right? Really 5 to 6." And anyway, Friday was fabulous. And for me, it's, I mean, I love everyone I practice with at Lana, but I don't get a chance to practice with really high level sensei very often, so man, do I ever cherish that so much. And Yamada Sensei gave me such great advice and beautiful, small little things that just made my head go. And Nishikawa Sensei too gave me some wonderful advice. And anyway, I could just gush on all day long. It was fabulous, it was great, and I have lots to think about for the grading that's coming up. Probably April or May this year. I will try. I will keep trying. Sometimes I think, I'm like 65 now, right? It's like, oh Jesus. Like at some point, if I keep failing, anyway, I don't ponder failing, really. It's not part of my thinking, but it does creep in, right? It's like, well, just can't help it, right? I suppose. Anyway, but it doesn't matter. I'll just keep going. I know I'll just keep trying. It doesn't matter. If I'm 80 years old and trying for 4th Dan, I'll still give it a shot. Why not, eh? As long as I can afford it. That's the main issue, right? But people did help me out for this coming one, so I'm okay. Yeah, anyway, whatever. So enough about kendo. The rest of the world, right? Things are just exploding with like the whole excess death thing that's been in the news for quite a while, like how long? Half a year for sure, longer I'm sure, but really coming to the fore. But now it's even touching on to what they like to call mainstream or legacy media, right? And this is going to be huge this year, I think. It's just over the top, right? Ed Dowd has been doing fantastic reports on all that stuff. And interestingly enough, a lot of that information is coming out of insurance companies and actuaries and stuff, And that makes a lot of sense, right? Because whereas the big pharma guys, they just want to keep shoving that crap into you because there's money to be made, right? We all know that big pharma is interested in money more than health, public health. Perhaps some of their treatments are valuable and useful, and perhaps some aren't, and does it matter then, Anyway, point in. Right, but the insurance companies, again, we're still talking about money, but in this case, they're losing money, right? Because people are dying and getting injured, and insurance companies have to end up covering that, healthcare and stuff. Anyway, whatever. So that's exploding out. The really shameful treatment of people that have been injured from the COVID. I'm not even going to call it the V thing. I'm just going to call it the COVID injectables, or gene therapy, we should call it. Has really been shameful, right? People have been seriously injured. It's not everyone, but people have been seriously injured, and they're being made fun of, they're being dismissed, They're being called conspiracy theories, anti-vaxxers, whatever, right? And that's pretty full on evil, I think, you know. It's like, wow, you're really trying to cover your ass, but it's not going to last too much longer, right? This is really becoming quite large, and let's see where it goes this year. You know, I think this is the year, but you know, the powers that counter all this information coming out are quite powerful, you know, and the whole Davos bunch got together, and the WHO is trying to implement this worldwide thing where, you know, they can dictate to countries what their policies, medical policies should be. It's really it's really a disturbing time, but also extremely interesting, right? Because not only are these massive entities trying to create all this control, but so many people are aware of it, right? So that's the flip side, right? I took a new friend, a cousin of a friend of mine from Banff, up on the ridge yesterday. It was a beautiful walk. Great, really great, had great talks, and anyway, and oh shoot, I lost train of my thought. Damn. Oh, it's really embarrassing me. Anyway, come to me. I'll just prattle on as usual. But yeah, I don't know. What was I talking about? Anyway, it's just amazing what. Oh right, okay, I got it. I'm back in the zone. Yeah, it's like, you know, 4 years ago, how many average person knew who the hell Klaus Schwab is, right? And now, a lot of people know who that asshole is, right? And his evil sidekick, Harare, right? Holy jeez. Anyway, so this is the flip side, right? And maybe, in the end, a positive thing. We'll have to wait and see whether this all ends up being a positive, you know, thing. Oops. You know, it's really interesting. These here. So can I grab this? Oh, come on. Oy. Oops. Nope. Okay. I keep knocking it down the wrong way. There we go. Okay. So these things here, these come off the big bamboo trees. they're like little. It feels a bit papery, you know, but it's quite brittle. And they come off the bamboo trees and fall to the ground. Like behind the house where I live, they're just all over the ground right now. It's amazing. Anyway, yeah. So so that's the flip side, right? We'll have to see where that all goes. You know? I really hope that people will need to pay a price, right? Serious price, like prison terms and stuff. And it's not hyperbolic. I'm just like, you know, Jacinda Ardern's just resigned. Is she trying to avoid, you know, legal stuff? Doesn't really matter whether she's prime minister or not. She can still be, you know, sued or taken to court. Anyway, who knows about that? Anyway, so that's what's going on, right? There's so much stuff going on. And yet there's still people like, oh, you know, I'm gonna get the shot. And I said, well, didn't you have COVID like 2 months ago? And yeah, I did. Yeah, but there's so much information that, anyway, so much stuff about getting the shot after having the disease being an extremely bad thing to do, right? Anyway, difficult to know, I understand. Anyway, I don't really get into personal medical advice at this point, right? Just, you know, people gotta do what they gotta do. But yeah. Anyway, and you know, at Davos they're talking about, you know, this whole digital ID and connection to vaccines. And Tony Blair, of all people, was lecturing at Davos about how they have to create this worldwide digital, you know, health information things, like, so that we know that everyone's gonna get vaccinated. It's like, really? And you know, they're all after the mRNA, and now we're hearing about they're trying to create mRNA vaccines for cattle and livestock. And like, really? Jesus. It's just madness. But anyway, the flip side, like I said, could be that the awareness is so high. And this could be a great thing, you know. People could learn that they have agency. They can think about their own health, their own way of life, their own existence and being, right? And make a choice for themselves, right? In the end, that's what it comes down to, I think. Really, you know, it's hard to be informed. It's hard to know if the information you're getting is legit, is real, is true, right? We all know that. So everything, anyway. Obviously I have a bias. Is it a bias that I have? I don't, actually, you know what, I'm not going to say that anymore. I don't have a bias, I just have a perspective and a sense for bullshit, right? So, like when they started doing these lockdowns, I'm like, yeah, we never done that before. Why now, right? And, you know, and as has been spoken of so often, why the whole world at the same time? Like, how did that work, right? Like, how can you not think there's some evil overload going on? And then, of course, the injectable gene therapy stuff. That was then over the top, right? Because now it's coercion, force in many cases. I've many friends in cases where no one was forced to take it. It's like, yeah, no. Look, if you are going to lose your job because you weren't willing to take this experimental stuff, and you have a family, if you're just alone, you can go, oh, screw it, I'll just go hunting or something. That's what I would do, right? If they force me and say, screw you, I'll go up in the mountains, I'll just hunt for the rest of my life. Even though I'm not allowed to here. Anyway, I'm just kidding, right? Just for the authorities watching, and not hunting up here. But yeah, but if you have a family, people that rely on you, how are you going to feed them? How are you going to... And nowadays, in the West, paying rent and stuff and all that is very expensive, right? So, anyway, it's a complex situation. Anyway, that's my take on it. I'm at the end of the trail part of my water walk, and I'm going to head home. I have something coming in. Laza does this online place a lot of people order from here. It's quite good, actually. It's not like Amazon, I don't think. Anyway, but yeah, because Laza does like a focal point for people to sell things. Anyway, I'm buying a really beautiful frying pan today. It's a carbon steel. I'm getting rid of my non-stick pans. Anyway, should have done that a long time ago probably. But anyway, yeah, so I'm quite excited about that. And that's my exciting thing for the day, other than going for water and going down to the White Cow, which is where the Wednesday market is. Talat Nat. And that'll be great too, and get most of my week's groceries, and I get buffalo and chicken, and maybe go for coffee if I have enough extra money. Oh, and eggs too. I always buy duck eggs. And the duck eggs here at this place is 52 baht for 10. Yeah, they don't sell the eggs in a dozen here. 6 or 10 in stores. Anyway, so 10 or 52 baht. What is that, like $1.80 in US dollars or something? I don't know. Anyway, you can see less than $2. Okay. So anyway, I'll see you later. Hope everyone's doing okay out there. Ciao. Thanks for listening. This one I'm gonna definitely post up. Ciao.